So the other day, I was actually on X when I came across this video that I'm sure most of you guys have already seen. But just in case if you haven't, I'm going to go ahead and put the video on screen now.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Call 911.
Now the first thing you might notice is the fact that he has a big plastered smile all over his face. Now I actually found a tweet that claims that he had been driving around bikini coffee shops for multiple days in a row while masturbating, which would also explain the big smile on his face on top of the fact that like he's being recorded. I mean, normally it doesn't make sense for an employee just to take a random video of a customer. And then did you see the look on his face whenever he got caught? I mean, the way that his smile immediately dropped. I mean, I've never seen somebody skedaddle out of a situation that fast. But that's old news. That's not the reason why you guys clicked on this video. So as it turns out, apparently even before the video even published online, he had gone home and killed himself. I mean, this sparked a lot of debate online between it. I mean, I'm pretty much sure the person who recorded the video also sent things out. But in my personal opinion, he was a weirdo. And then you see the response of his mom right here. Not to criticize, I mean, I know some people grieve in their own kind of way, right? But you have to acknowledge whenever somebody was genuinely a bad person. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't see a reality where my kid does something this treacherous and I defend him online afterwards. I mean, the video is literally right here. You can see all the proof. One more thing I just had to talk about. There's some people who actually will go out of the way to defend this person because, of the type of place that she worked at. It was a place where, they would wear bikini outfits, right? So think about a Hooters or a Twin Peaks. So their actual arguments, right, is the exact same thing as saying okay, well, what was she wearing? 2025 is already off to such an extreme and crazy start, and people like this are just not helping it. I mean, look at this one comment right here. No, what was wrong is one, she was on her phone while on shift, and on top of that, why is she looking inside a customer's car that's not even her property? Her job is to get the food and hand it, that's it. Dude, what? Genuinely, we have people defending this guy. But anyways, back to the mom's response, right? Now the tweet reads, if any one of my friends or family sees a video of my son, I believe it's Nautica, I could be wrong.
Nautica.
Please report it ASAP. My family and I will seriously appreciate it. We're going through enough. We really need to catch this person as soon as possible and make them pay for what they did to my son. Okay, so this is your son, right? So I understand the emotions you might feel after losing your son. I believe, if I remember correctly, he also has another brother. So, so she loses one out of two sons. So, that's a really big deal. I don't think people can truly grasp the concept of losing a child unless if they've actually gone through it. To say it and then to actually live through it, it's a completely different scenario. But regardless, that doesn't excuse the fact that your son still did what he did, right? The fact that you're saying oh, we have to catch this person, and I'm assuming they mean the person recording the video and make her pay for what she did. No, what did she do to your son? Your son willingly went out, right, and exposed himself to a bunch of people for no reason. That is sexual harassment, right? And then he decided to go home and blow his brains out. That is all on him. Every single step of the way, every single little thing was on him. And beyond everything, right, the fact that the mother is trying to make her son look out like the best person in the situation, right, the true worst part about this entire ordeal, right, is that the man had a wife and kids. He went behind his wife's back to do everything that he's been doing, right? So obviously, he's been going around masturbating in public coffee shops, right? But this is infidelity. He went around behind his wife's back. He started doing really weird, disgusting things, right? And he went home and killed himself, leaving behind two kids. This also forces the wife to become a single parent in an economy that makes it almost impossible for single incomes to become a doable thing. All of this, right, just because the man wanted to go in a little bit, something that he could have done in the privacy of his own home behind his wife's back. He was going to do it regardless, right? Let's be completely honest. If he's going to do this, he's going to do whatever he wants behind his wife's back, right? But at least don't make it other people's business. Make it your own personal private business. So I have an article by the Daily Mail, which, by the way, holy fuck, if I scroll up, just look at this for a sec. Look at all these ads, man. What is this? Actually. But anyways, an alleged pervert reportedly took his own life after a bikini barista shamed him for flashing her in a drive-thru in Arizona. Nautica Malone, 27, was caught in a bikini bean drive-thru with no pants on in Temple, Arizona on January 8. A video filmed by a manager showed. On Saturday, Malone killed himself by himself in the head, according to medical examiner's report. And this part basically covers what was shown in the video. And every single time I see this face, it's so funny because just like look at him, bro. Like the second he gets caught, like look right here, he's so happy, right? And it's just the manager told police Malone was masturbating when he pulled up to the window. So yes, that is confirmed, or like at least not confirmed, but like that is the official statement. Malone's family allegedly showed up to the coffee shop on Saturday and were aggressive to staff, claiming the young man had killed himself over the incident, police told TMZ. But yeah, no, that's one thing I forgot to tell y'all. It wasn't just the mother. It was basically the entire family, right? Like, people can go crazy over family, right? But, like, seriously, though, like, objectively speaking, right? You have a man who masturbated in front of, like, random people and killed themselves. How is it in any way the fault of, like, the random employees that are just working there, man? Like, I mean, come on, man. They're just trying to do their job. I mean, no, seriously, bro. Like, I really want people, like, who are genuinely complaining about this online, right? To go to work and then have some, like, random old man come up to you, right? And just start jerking himself off, like, right in front of you and see how quick that their opinion on this matter changes. And I get it, right? Like, somebody lost their life, right? That is like, some people think like, at the end of the day, a life is still a life, right? But you have somebody who went up to random people and started like touching himself. And it's such a shame that people even have to like worry themselves about this. I mean, the article continues and it says, this isn't the first time bikini baristas have been harassed by unruly customers taking advantage of their scantily clad workers. A Seattle barista smashed a customer's windshield after he got out of his car and threw a large drink at her. I do the same. And then the rest of it, I believe, is just, like them describing like the other scenario, right? But yeah, no, stuff like this happens all the time, like in places like this. And it's such a shame. And it's good to see that people are actually sensible in the comments. I mean, like, we're talking about, like, people actually defending him, right? Like, in the family or, like, random comments, right? But that's not the general consensus. The general consensus is something more like this. It was his choice to commit an illegal act. He doesn't get to choose the reaction and consequences. The business did the right thing to protect themselves and deter the behavior. He chose to commit self-deletion. If his family held him accountable for his actions when he was growing up, he probably would have made better choices. That is one thing I actually never thought about, like this man is probably a man who has never heard the word no before in his life. I mean, somebody replied, highly doubtful. It's a fetish, isn't it? He wouldn't have stopped even if he was in jail. And like, this is a man who has never been told no before, right? And so obviously he has no self-control over like, his own actions. Because you gotta think about it, right? If you're conditioned to like always expect something, right? That is like your reality, right? And some people do not live in the same reality as, the most of us. Yes, some people have like some really weird fetishes, right? But the only difference is they know how to control their fetishes and keep it like to themselves, like porn is completely free. There's definitely about this. But no, his lack of self-control was so bad that he went ahead and went out into the public and took his fetish out basically everywhere. But even with all the bad things that happened in this situation, right, I think that this situation actually brings forth like a good conversation, right? And that's the fact that people have little to no self-control over their desires, right? And especially nowadays, maybe the internet is making people a little bit more confident to do the things that they do, right? Or maybe it's just exposing really all the true and nasty people that have always been around for like all of existence, right? Which that most likely is the case. But still, man, looking at a situation like this, even if it applies to you like in the most smallest and broadest way possible, I think we should talk about a situation like this to really see like the worst case scenario of human society. And I'm not talking specifically about, driving around and masturbating in front of like random girls, right? But, people always have like, that little voice in the back of their mind that says them do something that they know they shouldn't. And unfortunately for this person, right, that voice never actually, affected him that much. So yeah, no, just another reminder, hey, you have control over your own body, you're not as sick as and evil as a person as maybe this guy is, right? But pat yourself on the back for not being somebody as weird to like do this. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this situation. If you want, you can already click off the video, but don't forget to subscribe and like, of course, before you do so. But basically, I kind of wanted to shift these videos more to like just me talking in general. I mean, the last video, I put a lot of effort into like, writing a script and whatever, but I'm still not really particularly happy about the last video, especially in comparison to the one that I made beforehand. And I'm really happy actually making this one right now because all I'm really doing is just sitting down and talking to you guys. So if you enjoy this style of content, like let me know that you guys are enjoying it by leaving a like on this video. And on top of that, like this kind of style of me just sitting down and talking is allowing me to like be able to pump these out like a little bit faster. So I kind of get to talk about what I want more, like how I want to, and on top of that, I'm able to talk about it faster. So that way I don't really feel like I'm talking about old news. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'm out.